Well, hey out there, Internet. It's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded, but I have a new setup, a new microphone, and I am trying out filming through a smartphone instead of my camera. It's got a little bit better of a camera built into it. Halloween's right around the corner, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to do a bit of a themed painting today. We start with a nice big planet right here in the middle. And I picked up a new stencil I can use. Now I have that other one you've seen already, which is this truck here that I used in a previous painting. I haven't removed the old paint, not paper or anything. But instead of this one, I picked up one that's a little bit smaller. This guy right here, I like that it has the jack-o'-lantern faces in it. It's a little more detailed. It's a little smaller too, as you can see. So I think we're probably just going to set that up right in the middle here. And say we're going to put the big planet right over here, right up against the edge. And yeah, that's all we'll do. This will just be kind of space gases and things like that over there. We're going to back that up just a little bit. So, as always, we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab one of our random colors here, just to give us an outline on what we're working on here. So, just a quick spray there, and a quick spray here, and now we can kind of see what we're working with here. Now, this is going to be a little challenging with these windows and things, but I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out. So this just lets us know how much we need to cover. And again, it's going to be a silhouette of a truck. It's not going to be like a fully colored in truck. So with this, we're just going to go plain old black. This is just gloss black. We're going to paint that right in like this. Right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually drying really quick. So we might not have to pause our recording very long. I'll angle this up a little bit. And up here, we're going to go with maybe some lighter colors here. Let me grab a blue, and yeah, we'll go with some Satin Oasis blue, and I think we're going to mix in a little bit of green on that, kind of almost like an earth planet up there. So we'll go with dark hunter green, and I think maybe some nutmeg to add that little bit of a brown feel to it. So we start in with our blue. That's kind of our base. And just like this, gotta fill it all in there. Now that first color I used was a navy blue. So I'm gonna grab that, some midnight blue. I'm just gonna kind of give it a couple sprays here, kind of model out the ocean. Then we're gonna go in with a couple land masses with our hunter green. So what that spray is, I'm just making sure it's coming out even before I try putting it on the paper. So maybe something there, there, and there. Kind of like that. And a couple little touches of our nutmeg right in here. Give this a couple sprays. Come on. There we go. Just a couple little dips there. And then we're going to go in here with our white on top. So we got to be kind of quick here because this is a watercolor paper, and that it dries a lot faster than poster board or canvas. I'm just gonna swipe it on in there, fold it so we can get the rest. Then we're gonna dab in some of these other spots here. We don't want these lines necessarily, so we'll go ahead and dab that a bit. Here, kind of redistribute some of that white as well with some of these dabs. There we go. I like it. So we're going to go back in there with that with our black. So this is going to be the light focus up here. We're going to do our shadow right here. So just a quick, just like that, kind of shade it in on there. We're going to do a quick little highlight up on top with a lighter blue rather than going back in with white. Let's grab some. Let's see, what do I got here? I'm just going to use some light blue. Just make sure this is coming out all right. There we go. Yeah. Just a little flare of light blue up on the top here. Just like that. So that planet is done. Now I'm going to go in there with our truck once again that I appeared to put down and forgot where I put it down. I put it underneath our plate up on the top here. So we'll grab that plate, get out of the way, and here's our truck. You can kind of see the outline of the truck in there too. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm going to line it up just like this. See, it's actually dry right there. So it's bent up just a little bit. So I'm going to see if I can take a little bit of that little arc it has out by giving it a little snap there. See if that helps. Oh yeah, it's a lot better. So the pumpkin faces, we're going to go with some Harvest Peach, which is the color. It's actually a newer color. I really like the color because it has almost like an orange feel to it. So I like that. There we go. Come on. There we go. So just right there in the faces. And how we're going to stop the faces from getting covered in whatever our colors we use is we're going to take little pieces of newspaper over here. I'm just going to rip them to cover just those faces in the jack-o'-lanterns there. Just kind of rough them in there, just like that. Do another one right here. The nice thing is if you do this while the paint's still wet, it'll stick almost like a little bit of extra glue. That way it's not going to seep through as much. And do a couple little more pieces here because it's not completely on there. We get a little corner right here that's actually showing. There. So, to kind of reinforce that a little bit, I got my handy can of rocks here. I'm just going to kind of cover these up a little bit with the rocks to stop them from flying around when I do a little more spraying. We're going to end up adding more rocks as we go here. So on the truck, I'm thinking rather than where is it? Aha, there we go. Rather than a blue, I kind of say this is maybe the hint of a red truck. I think that'll look kind of nice. I'll rip this corner up right here. It's kind of getting in the way. There we go. We can tuck it right like that. So on the fenders, these lines, the door, the hood, I'm going to hit these with a red. But first, before I do that, let's give this some wheels. I'm thinking I've got some metallic paints. Wonder if this will look okay. So I've got a metallic silver here. Let me do that quick spray. And we're just going to quick blast right there. Right there. And I think that might be a little bright. So what you can do, if you have something that's a little too bright, go in with your black and at a little bit of a distance, just give it a little shot, kind of almost shadowing it a little bit, and that should show up pretty nicely. So just like I did with the last one here, I'm going to take a little piece of paper and we're going to cover the insides of these wheels, just like this. I'll move it over just a little so I don't have to bend it so much. Another one right there. Now these ones won't matter as much because I'm going to end up covering them with a bigger piece, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll do the same thing with this other wheel. So do you guys have some Halloween plans coming up? That's, as of filming this, it's the 22nd, so we're less than 10 days from Halloween here. So you guys going out, taking kids out trick-or-treating, going trick-or-treating yourself, let me know. So as for this window, we are going to go with a dark blue. I'm thinking just true navy. I think that'll look best. Give this a good shake. Make sure it's not coming out watery. Yeah, some true navy right in there like that. You see that one wanted to move. That's okay. There, we'll put it right back. We'll grab our can of rocks and put a couple more rocks on there to try to stop that from doing it anymore. We'll borrow a rock for this one. We'll borrow a rock for the other one too. Just like that. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna cover up the window there. Like this. Might need to be a little more precise. In fact, So that might actually work even better. It's just a piece of painter's tape. Yeah, that should work just fine. A couple pieces of painter's tape. Oh, maybe one. Wow, look at that. Okay. Let's make sure that's sticking to the edges. That'll do. And then I'm going to go in here with my knife. I got a little X-Acto knife here. I'm just going to kind of scrape that down. So that way, when I come in here with that dark red, it'll look a little bit better. Now, speaking of that dark red, we got it right here. It's actually cranberry. So right here, I'm actually okay with covering the headlights here with that red, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a can of maybe yellow and I'm just going to spray it right there. And you'll see once I do it, it'll create kind of a almost shooting star effect. That'll work pretty nice. So just hit these here like this. Okay. We'll hit this one up on the roof here. So next thing I need to do is cover up all of that. So we're actually going to steal our rocks back. Actually first, because I really need to cover that. So I'm going to go in with a spatula and black. Well, actually, the background's not going to be black on this one. So to make sure that the truck stands out, we're actually going to do a navy blue or a midnight blue. I haven't quite decided yet, but I should probably make that decision now. Yeah, we'll go in with we'll do true navy. We'll match that window. So we're just gonna cover this right here like that. And just hit it right there. We'll do the same thing over here. Cool. Just in case I don't get to it otherwise. So now I just got to take a big piece of paper, take our rocks back. That shifted. So thankfully, it's going to be a little forgiving when it comes to all that. So we'll cover up like so. Go like that, right there. Take a flat piece right there. Take a rock just to cover that up. We'll sneak another piece up here too. That way the rock can hold down a couple things. I moved it again. And it's okay if you end up moving it. That's a nice thing about using something like this, this watercolor paper is things tend to dry a little faster, especially if you're not putting a ton of paint on one little section. So don't stress out if you do something like this and end up having something shift on you a little bit. It is bound to happen. It's okay. Rip that up there. Cool. We can actually use that little piece right there. So that paint's still a little wet on the outside of the stencil. Push that down a little. Now there is every chance that this all bled through, but you can touch that up with just a regular old brush. I picked up a whole pack of brushes the other day, which will make that a little bit easier too. So we got that there. Cool. I'm going to put a couple more stones down. Let's put them all down. I got them all. One there. Put one over on this wheel here. Oop, hitting the tripod on you. And then one right there. Okay, so this is actually dry now, so we can go right into this step. We're going to come in here with our plate. And we'll shift this up a little bit for you. Just like that. Put our plate right here. Make sure we got it covered where we want. All right, and we got this ready to go. So down on the bottom here, we're actually going to do black, but we'll do that after we do our background here. So again, for the background, we're just going to go in there with some true navy. We'll shift the camera up just a little bit for you so you can see the top. We'll just kind of go right around like this. Just like that. Kind of hit these right in here. You don't want to spray like at an angle, specifically at your stencil, because you may get your paint underneath the stencil if you do that. So just be cautious if you decide to go this route. Especially on the front of this one, the grill is exposed, so I gotta kind of be careful right there, just like that. Just like this. Finish filling this in here. Now you may notice up on the top here that there's actually some gaps. That's okay if that happens. Don't worry too much. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have some space gases in the back there too. It'll cover a lot of that up. And then down here on the bottom, I'm just going to finish up right there like that. And cool. This can doesn't have the greatest pressure, but that's okay. So up here, we're going to do our black on the bottom underneath the truck. And we're going to go in. I did one with that truck earlier. If you saw that episode, what I'm going to end up doing there is, again, just doing some kind of ground clutter on the bottom. But we'll go in there with our regular old black. Just kind of get a quick, sort of base layer for me to work with. Makes it a little easier to visualize. Just like that. We've got something to paint. So we can drag that right off the side. I don't know what that's all about. Just like that. Okay, so now we have to put in our stars and things like that. So we're going to grab our white and make sure that sprays. I'm going to do a controlled burst of stars just by kind of just very lightly pressing down on the top of the can. And these are kind of our background stars. See, that is something that you can run into if you use controlled pressure. You get a big blob that might pop out like that. And that is okay if that happens. There's a couple different things you can do. You can leave it, because there's all sorts of different stars and planets out there. Or you can grab a little piece of paper, and just kind of give it a quick dab, and you can touch it up with your background color and then respray the area. Like that. Took a good chunk of it off. Now I can go back in with our True Navy here, like that. Kind of masks that up. Then we'll kind of give it a nice little light spray like this, just like that. Cool. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some background paint colors and stuff. So we've got our rustic orange. So we're going to kind of keep this with a couple Halloween sort of colors. So I'm going to go with some purple and some orange in our background here. So we're going to start from the bottom here and kind of work our way up, just like that. Make sure you spray your can a little bit. And just like that. And I've got some Power Orange. That's one of these cans right here. I got that at one of those craft stores. So I haven't seen it anywhere else other than online. So it's probably the best place to get it. And we're going to kind of come across like this. Now I do like, one thing I really like about this is it's almost like a transparent color. I don't know if you can see there, but there's parts of that orange that are a little more transparent. So it's kind of a nice touch. So right here where the paint's a little thicker, so as you can see, it's sort of not coming all the way through for us. So we're going to go back down here. I changed my zoom a little bit, but that's okay. We're just going to give this a little more here. Just like that. Now I'm going to grab a purple. Let's see, what should we go with today? I think we can go with some grape. It's always a good color. It's a good purple for paint. For spray paint specifically. So make sure that's spraying, We're just going to right across the top of it. Don't need to do a lot. We're going to let this all set up a little bit before I remove anything. And we're going to kind of hit that orange one more time. So sometimes you get a little bit of runoff. It is okay. It'll actually look just fine once you put your clear coat on. And just giving that just a couple more seconds to set up, and then we're going to try with our Power Orange one more time right here. Yeah. So yeah, that darker color there is eating our orange. which is okay. We just gotta kind of let it do its thing. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna let this set up a little bit, and I'll come back and finish filming a little while. Okay, we're back. We're back, and we're gonna go ahead and continue this painting. So this is dried sufficiently, so we can finish highlighting that in there with the with our space gas right there. So we just kind of feather that in there just a little bit. I'm probably gonna darken that up just a little with some just some true navy here. Actually, we'll darken it up a little bit more with some midnight blue. I think that'll work a little bit better. So we're just gonna, just like that. You see, it's still leaving the space gases in there. It's just less harsh now. So we're gonna go back with our white. Do a little bit more controlled spray right there where we just were, right in there. And now I'm gonna do the glove trick. I'm gonna spray some paint directly onto my glove here, like this. We're just going to flick our stars right on there. Just some flicks, just like that. There we go. So I'll take a little piece of paper to dry my hand off a little bit. So I don't have so much wet paint on my glove. Then I'm going to take that white paint again, and we're just going to do a little bit of a highlight right up here on the top. I'm just going to spray directly onto my plate, not onto the painting itself. So the overspray will take care of our shadow there. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to uncover our truck here, see how it came out. Actually, we're going to touch up a little bit back here too, because I'm noticing a little bit of a little too much color sneaking through here. So we'll see if we can, yeah, that'll actually work. I kind of like that. Where'd our white go? Over here, a little more white. And a quick, just like that. That'll work. It doesn't have to be perfect, like I like to say. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to reveal the truck. That actually came out okay. I like it. I like it a lot. One of the faces got a little derpy there, but that's okay. We won't hold it against them. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab a brush of my Bag-O brushes here. We're going to have a little cup. I've got a little disposable shot glass here. I'm just going to put some black paint in there. We're going to touch up that face the best I can. That's cranberry. There's our black. Take the brush. I'm going to do the best I can, like I said. Oops, you got a little drop there, so gotta be careful. Excuse me. I'm just gonna go just touch it up just like this. Try to get the nose in there. Nice thing is they're jack-o'-lanterns, right? So they're not always perfect unless you're a professional pumpkin carver like you see on TV. So a little bit of derp in the faces is gonna work out just fine. I'll just kind of spread that out. Get our tooth marks in there. Yeah, so it's off there. This one's actually looking okay up here. Let's touch that up right there. Yeah. Gonna get our tooth up there. And like that. I don't have the steadiest hand on earth, but it seems to be working out okay. So I'm gonna put that cup down. I'm gonna wipe the paint off this brush. I'm just gonna use a little piece of paper to get our brush somewhat clean here. Then I'm gonna grab a little piece of paper here, or whatever you have. So this is just a piece of scrap I have floating around. I'm gonna go in there with our cranberry again so I can do a little touch up on these fenders. No, that is not the cranberry. That's okay though. Okay. A little cranberry right there. I'm just going to go in here like this and just do the best we can to sort of touch it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Like that. Yeah, that'll work. It doesn't have to be perfect. There you go. Touch this up just a little bit more. A little more paint off my card. Kind of just like that. We're going to go same thing over here, just like this, and we'll touch these up here. Like that. That will work just fine. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to get some more of that paint off my brush. I go cheap because it's difficult to clean the paint off of these sometimes. This one actually seems like the bristers are going to be okay. So when I'm done here, I'll go inside and just rinse that off. So we're going to go in here with a bowl. Just got to find what bowl I want to use. I got plenty of options. So this one, all the paint in there is all dried up and stuff. So we're going to grab a couple different reds and oranges and stuff. So I'm going to go in here. This one is called Poppy Red. Right there. I'm going to start with that. Right into the bowl. That's all I'm doing right there. Just right into the bowl. I'm going to do my first layer in red, and I think I'm probably going to use some sort of yellow. And the way I'm going to do my my ground clutter here, just dropped a cap. There it goes. It's gone forever. So I'm just going to grab a piece of sponge here. You just rip it when you do it. And it's going to give us our base coat of leaf litter here. So I'm just going to tap it on the edge of the bowl here because we don't want too much getting on here. Just like this. Right? That's just kind of going to be our base layer of fall sort of leaves on the ground. We'll do some of that, and then, like I said, we're going to probably use some. I'll use some nutmeg. Nutmeg makes a nice color here. It's okay if it goes over the edge of the wheels there. Kind of makes it so it gives the truck a little bit of dimension. Just like this. Probably going to have to add some more paint into my bowl here. I'll keep going. Yeah, I'll add a little bit more red because it's getting a little thin. Just finish going up this way. And this is not the first layer of paint we're doing down here like this. We're going to do some straight across too. Kind of randomize it on the ground. Below the truck, below the road, I guess you would have there. We do have a little bit of overspray from our stars, but that, again, it's all okay. As long as you're enjoying doing it, it's all that really matters. I do enjoy doing this. Life's been a little crazy lately. Haven't really had a lot of chances to stop and really film anything. I had put a couple other episodes together, but I did not like the sound quality. I didn't like the video quality either. So we're trying something a little new here. A new camera setup with this phone again. And using a lapel mic that I picked up. So hopefully that'll make a bit of a difference. So what I'm going to do on top of that is we're going to go in there with some rustic orange. And pull some of that in. If I can remember where I put my rustic orange. Got our nutmeg ready to go. Got some harvest peach ready to go. Did I drop it? Might have dropped it. Sounds like something I would do. It's not orange. I must have put it back. Aha! There it is. So right on top of that that red, I'm just gonna spray in some orange with that same sponge. What I'm doing is I'm just gonna kind of rub some of that excess off inside the bowl here. We're gonna go right back in, same brush or same sponge. We're just gonna do the same thing. So see, I kind of got a little blotchy there. So we're just gonna wipe some of that excess off. We're gonna go back over it, try to pick some of that paint back up. It's okay if that happens. Don't worry about it. So your second layer probably doesn't have to be as thick as your first, but you want it enough so it's noticeable. I'm just gonna keep going just like that. Get right over the edge of the tires there. Like kind of going through a field there. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna kind of fill in some of those blanks where the red might not have been as prominent as up top. Just kind of a couple more dabs in here. And a little bit more. And we'll go on to our next color here, which is going to be a harvest peach, kind of a lighter yellowy orange color. I do quite like that color too. So we're going to get some of that excess off. We're going to go in, just like we did before, with our harvest peach. Just kind of see, it's kind of more of a yellowy orange color. I think it works really well for this kind of stuff. So we're just going to dab some in there, get some of the excess off on the edge of the bowl, and just a a little bit there. See, it's a little thick, so we'll kind of come back over this. Kind of blend it a little bit. Just like this. Just like that. I'm going to keep dabbing that on in there. Just like this. There we go. And do some on the bottom here. Just to kind of liven up the bottom. I was talking to my father the other day. I had stopped to see him. And he actually likes it when I do the planets in space. So maybe not the next episode. Maybe I'll do one for him since that's what he likes. You're just going to tell me what you want to see, and I'll see if I can make it happen for you. All right, so the last one I'm going to do is a little bit of nutmeg, and then I might do some little bits with some extra red and orange just to kind of get it a little more... Cap's not happy with me. A little more color on the bottom. We'll see. We'll see how this looks after. Oh, yeah. Just a little bit of damming it on in there with our beige-ish sort of nutmeg color here. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Yeah, and we'll go right over it with a little bit more red and orange. Gonna touch it up in there like that. I'm gonna grab a little piece of a different sponge just for the last of this here. So right here, I'm just gonna do another little bit of red. And maybe I'll try to see if I can do a line of orange there and see what they look like when they mix up a little bit. We'll go in there with a little bit of sponge I just made up. And oh yeah, just a little bit, not hitting it too hard. Just a light little bit of poking at it. Yeah, a little more to just get a little color on top there. Just like a big pile of leaves on the side of the road are supposed to have. All right. That'll work for now. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my yellow. I have a couple different yellows here. I think I'm going to go with just some sun yellow. I think that'll work just fine for our headlights, especially for an older truck. It's not going to have bright headlights like a lot of others. So we're going to line that up right on the headlight here, like this. You're going to kind of aim your nozzle the way you want to go. So I'm going to doubly make sure here I'm going the right way. We're just going to kind of give it a quick hit. I'll rearrange it that way. There we go. So see, it kind of looks like it's illuminating a little bit. Then I'm going to go in at that brush again that we used a little while ago. I'm going to grab my bowl that I was just using. Take some of that yellow. You see, it's a much brighter yellow than that Harvest Peach color. I'm going to touch in right here inside of that headlight. Just a smooth as my shaky hands will let me. I think that'll work just fine. Now, I'm thinking we might do a... Next one we'll do a tree or two. So, let me do a reveal for you. Here we go. And there is your mostly finished piece. Well, last thing we got to do is we got to go in there with our clear coat and make sure it is sealed up and ready to go. Should have picked up more clear coat. I've got enough to go for now. Now I do realize I forgot to do my glitter paint that I usually do. That's okay for now. So I'm just going to go ahead with our clear coat and just fill this in here best I can. Come on. Yeah, this one's getting a little low too. So it's time to order some more. You can get them online. You can get them at your local hardware store, which is very convenient. It's a lot of this paint. You can go and see your local hardware store and see what they've got in stock. You can also go to the big stores too. I'm not going to give any names for them. You know where you can go. I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button too. And hit that bell icon. That way you can see whenever I upload. I will try my very best to do it more frequently, but I'm a little bad about it the last little while here. I get another can of clear here. So I am going out with the missus tomorrow, and we'll make a pit stop and pick up some more clear coat and see if there's any interesting colors I haven't seen before. But there you have it, folks. Again, thank you for stopping by. Really hope you come and see me for the next one. And if you haven't, again, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for stopping by.